But the big thing that happened is that recently 5 top black belts in jiu-jitsu got banned got 3-year bans because they popped for testosterone. One of them had even Tren in his system at No-Gi Worlds. It was the first and second play. Like, first off, IBJJF does test, but they don't test as often. But it seems like they chose to, yeah, there it is. They chose to really test at this competition. And a lot of the guys even ran from the podium because, you know, they didn't want to get shit found. But USADA chased some of them even a few weeks later, and they still had shit in their system. So they've been given 2 to 3-year bans, and it's been huge. Yeah, there's a picture. Cyborg was supposed to be on the first podium, and in this video right here, Victor Hugo, who's one of the top black belts, was commenting how, like, yeah, the first and second place kind of just left.
You know, if some of the top guys are getting popped, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what's the rest of the field look like? They're mainly only testing the guys that are placing, right?
It seems that they're testing the guys that are placing, and that's actually a good
makes
thing.
Sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna utilize it and utilize it as an unfair advantage, you're gonna be able to, you know, maybe get yourself up on the podium. But I'm still sure there's probably plenty of people that are losing the people that are on shit that would love to get them tested as well, you know? Yeah.
Cyborg, it is interesting because, for example, there's ADCC, right? Which is like the no-gi jiu-jitsu Olympics, where they're clear that we will not test any jiu-jitsu athletes.
That's where you see Gordon Ryan and those guys, and they're jacked as fuck, right?
And Gordon is open about being on PEDs because he says, well, it's legal within our sport, but within our sport on the side of ADCC.
Right.
Because the IBJJF, which does they have No-Gi Worlds and they have Gi Worlds and all their competitions. They're the biggest jiu-jitsu federation. They do have banned substances. They do have USADA testing. So the thing is, if an athlete goes and they compete in ADCC, where it's okay for them to take tests and Tren and all these things, but then they come and they compete in the IBJJF, well, if you're on shit, you can't be competing in the IBJJF. That's just the rules. But everybody has like when it comes to jiu-jitsu, people look at it as being a very drug-riddled sport. Yeah.
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, we've talked about blood work and getting your labs done on this podcast with many different guests, as that's super important for understanding what's going on underneath the hood. That's why we've been partnered with Merrick Health for such a long time now, owned by Derek for more plates, more dates. With Merrick Health, you can get yourself the Power Project panel, or you can select any specific labs you want to get. And after you get that done, you'll be able to work with one of Merrick's patient care coordinators, where they'll help you understand what type of nutritional, lifestyle, hormonal, or other type of interventions you can utilize to help fix whatever might be going on underneath the hood. Merrick is your one-stop shop to make sure that everything is going well underneath the hood. Andrew, how can they get their blood work done?
Yes, we have 2 options for you guys. Head over to merrickhealth.com/powerproject. That's MAREK health.com/powerproject. There you guys will see the Power Project panel that Nsima was just talking about. And at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of that panel. Now, if you want to custom select your own panel, you guys can use promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all labs. Again, that's at merrickhealth.com/powerproject. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes. Yeah, we talked about this previously, but like my thing with like drug testing and all that stuff, I just feel like if they tested everyone that podiumed, I think it would scare off a lot of people from actually doing it or from doing PEDs, because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take this stuff and I want it to make me better than everybody. But if I accomplish that, then I have to somehow figure out and prove that I didn't take anything. And I just find it curious. Like, I was curious, like, why don't they do that for everything as far as drug tested stuff? Yeah, like if the people that got that win, put it that way.
Yeah.
Top 3, they all get drug tested automatically.
Super Bowl, NBA championship, all that.
Right. Yeah.
Right, why not?
Yeah. I mean, the MVP, you're the first one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you won the first drug test.
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
It would be. They do that in natural bodybuilding. Like the WNBF, at least, like they will test the winners of the shows.
That's awesome.
But in jiu-jitsu, I feel like maybe they're going to be doing this more often, which will be good. But the mind fuck is kind of rough. Andrew, you have Tom DeBlass's post over there, and I'm going to read it real quick. Tom DeBlas is like a staple in the jiu-jitsu community. He's a legend as far as no-gi and just jiu-jitsu is concerned. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. But he has this picture, and he said, "This is the last picture you will see of me without exogenous testosterone. I won my first Pan Ams, my first Nationals, my first ADC trials, completely steroid-free. I was 27 when I started supplementing low-dose testosterone. Why am I telling you? Because I feel it's irresponsible if I don't. You also heard me say that everyone takes something. That's a bit irresponsible for me to say because if you are under the age of 25 years old, I'm totally and utterly against you taking steroids. Your body is still developing. At high levels, yes, 98% of people, in my opinion, take something. The guy you see me competing against here, I'd be willing to bet on, is on a ton of stuff, and I didn't care." So this is where it gets weird because Tom said he won big tournaments without taking anything. And at a certain point, he felt he had to start taking exogenous testosterone because he felt, well, for me to be at the next level, all the other guys are doing it. So I need to do it too if I want to be able to compete against the other guys. But it's still against the rules, right? So it's a tough thing because, like, I'm gonna be real, even myself, I know a bunch of people do think I'm taking shit. But sometimes when I see stuff like this, I'm like, damn, being able to recover like a madman would be amazing. Because like workouts are fatiguing, jiu-jitsu's fatiguing. But if you could wake up every day and just session after session, you're feeling like a beast, I get why that's the word I'm looking for, appetizing. I get why that's appetizing. You know?
Enticing.
Enticing. I
But
get why
also
it's
appetizing.
And also appetizing.
Yeah.
It looks like it might taste good.
Yeah.
You know, and also too, I think it's easy to be like, oh, well, I'll just, you know, I'm going to take like a little bit of this other stuff that's like kind of just, you know what I mean? Like there's gray area shit. Hey, what if I just took a little bit of Anavar? Like maybe that will give me the recovery I'm looking for. But am I going to get really, you know, popped? And nowadays there's so much access to so many different people. Like that would be a pretty easy search on the internet to kind of find out, hey, if I took 25 to 50 milligrams of Anavar for 6 weeks, would I test positive, you know, and having a, like whatever it is they test, usually they test your estroidal, your estrogen, I think, to your testosterone or something like that. And there's so many great coaches. There's so many people on the internet that talk about this stuff. Like I know behind the scenes people that know stuff that just would blow people's minds. It's crazy what's available. It's crazy what's out there.
Talking about Mr. Triana?
I'm not talking about anybody in particular.
No one.
But there's just a lot of options in terms of performance enhancing drugs. So even now, like, so these guys are going to test and like, oh, I don't think these leagues and federations and stuff, I think they want to make money. You know, I think they want good competition. They want some good battles, you know. A lot in some of these competitions that people are in a gi, so you can't see the body. It's different than what you see Gordon Ryan doing with no gi and stuff like that. But I still think it's helpful to have fit athletes that look good. And I think that there's so many different things that people can take that they're not testing for. And the athletes are aware of what they test for. The coaches are even more aware of what's tested for, and they know plenty of ways around that. So if this sport, if jiu-jitsu's already been pretty infiltrated with some performance enhancing drugs, those guys and many other people now, they're just not going to take testosterone. They're just going to take other stuff. There's so many ways around it. It's you know, we should have Jeff Nowitzki on the podcast again. He does the testing for the UFC. You know, are there people are there people in the UFC right now that have the belt that are using performance enhancing drugs, or someone say, yeah, that's kind of an unfair advantage? Yeah, I would say so. I would say that, you know, I don't know for sure, but again, I think these tests aren't too hard to beat.
Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.